how's the market? It's the question I get at every coffee shop, every dinner party, and every initial consultation. And usually people are looking for a one-word answer. Good, bad, slow, hot. But if you've been following this series, you know that one-word answers don't build blueprints. The truth is, if you're looking at the Greater Toronto Area as one giant uniform block of real estate, you aren't looking at it like an investor. You're looking at a headline, not a strategy, because the market doesn't exist, but submarkets do. And that's where the real opportunity is hiding. Welcome back to Real Estate with Nicole. We've spent our last 3 episodes shifting our lens from pretty kitchens to 8 profit centers and ultimately to your long-term purpose. But today, I wanted to drop this mini episode to talk about the map. We're moving past blanket statements and the scary headlines to look at why a condo in downtown Toronto, a semi in East York, and a duplex in Durham are 3 completely different conversations. Today, we're breaking down why Toronto is not one market and why your strategy, whether it's cash flow, appreciation, or a house hack, needs a specific home. Let's dive into the where behind your why. Here is one of the biggest mindset shifts I want Toronto and GTA investors to make. Stop talking about the market like it's one thing. Toronto is not one market. The GTA is not one market. It is a collection of submarkets, and in each one can behave differently depending on the price point, the property type, the tenant profile, transit access, supply, financing, long-term demand. A downtown condo, an East York semi, and a Scarborough bungalow with a basement suite potential, Mississauga townhome, a Brampton semi with a secondary suite potential, Caledon property tied to long-term growth. A Vaughan condo near transit and a Durham duplex may all respond differently to the same headline. So when someone asks me, Nicole, is this a good time to invest? I usually want to ask a better question first. Good for what strategy? Good for cash flow, good for long-term appreciation, good for a house hack, good for a legal second suite, good for a family trying to create more stability over the next 20 years. Because those are different questions, and they may lead to different answers. Let's turn to a spotlight on the Peel region. It's a great example of why we have to stop treating the GTA like one big market. Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon sit in the same region, but they do not tell the same investor story. Mississauga may bring conversations around condos, townhomes, mature neighborhoods, transit, airport area employment, and corporate or logistics jobs. Brampton may bring a different conversation around family-sized homes, multi-generational living, secondary suite potential, commuter access, and strong demand from households that need more space. Caledon may bring a longer-term conversation around growth, land, commuting, and how development patterns evolve over time. Same region, 3 different strategy conversations. And that is the point. If an investor says, I want to invest in Peel, I still want to slow that down and ask, where in Peel? For what tenant profile? With what property type? At what price point? and with what long-term plan. This is especially important in the GTA because affordability pressure has changed how people make housing decisions. Some people rent longer, some people move farther out for space, some prioritize transit, and some need a family-sized rental. Some want proximity to schools, hospitals, universities, or employment hubs. Tenants do not just rent four walls, they rent access to the life those four walls make possible. That is why a less glamorous property in the right location can sometimes solve a very real tenant problem. A basement suite near transit may matter to someone who needs affordability and convenience. A family-sized rental near schools may attract a completely different tenant than a small downtown condo. A unit near a GO station may matter to someone balancing work, commuting, and cost. Peel also shows us why employment and transit matter. The airport employment area and Pearson economic zone influence rental demand across parts of Mississauga and Brampton. While GO Transit, major highways, local transit, and future transit improvements can shape how tenants think about convenience, commuting, and affordability. A tenant may choose a rental not because it's the fanciest unit on the market, but because it helps them get to work, stay close to family, or manage the monthly budget with less stress. And this is why I do not see the 905 as Plan B. Mississauga, Brampton, Caledon, Vaughan, Markham, Richmond Hill, Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa, Oakville, Burlington, Milton, and the Hamilton area markets can all offer different investor profiles. Some may offer better rent to price ratios, some may attract longer-term family tenants, some may have stronger transit or employment stories. Some may simply give an investor a more realistic entry point. But none of this means that you skip the analysis. In fact, when cash flow is harder, analysis matters more. You need to stress test the deal. Vacancy, repairs, mortgage renewal risk, insurance, taxes, maintenance, property management, condo fees, and the realistic rent assumptions. If the deal only works when everything goes perfectly, that is not a strategy. That's a wish list. So the next time you hear someone say, the market is bad, or you see a headline that makes you want to hit the snooze button on your goals, I want you to pause. Ask yourself, which neighborhood, which property type, and most importantly, which strategy? As we've seen, the 905 isn't just a plan B. It's a collection of unique opportunities, from the logistics-driven demand in Mississauga to the family-sized rental needs in Brampton. But remember, a different location doesn't mean you skip the homework. In fact, when the numbers feel tighter, your analysis has to be sharper. Don't build a wish list and call it a strategy. Build a plan that can withstand the real world, the repairs, the vacancies, and all of that. If you're trying to figure out which pocket of the GTA actually fits your 10-year vision, let's talk. Whether it's the basement suite opportunity in Peel or a long-term hold in Durham, I'm here to help you see past the headline and focus on the purpose. I'm Nicole, and this is Real Estate with Nicole. Thank you for listening to this bonus deep dive. Until next time, keep looking past the wallpaper and keep asking better questions. And I'll see you in the next deal.